All right. So okay, sorry about that, guys. So I was getting something pulled up for the live stream. So, what I wanted to talk to you about is that Odell Beckham Jr. has been signed. Hang on, I'm gonna find a picture of it real quick, so that way. Odell Beckham Jr. Okay, there we go. Sweet. That's exactly what I wanted right here. Boom, share. Okay, so as you guys can see on here, Odell Beckham Jr. signed a 1 year he signed a 1 year deal worth up to $8.25 million with the Miami Dolphins. So the contract breakdown is Odell Beckham Jr. is looking to make a splash in South Beach. The star receives Ned's stop will be in Miami as Beckham is expected to sign a 1 year deal, which he already did. I don't understand why it says is expected when he already has signed the deal with the Dolphins worth up to $8.25 million. NFL Network's insider Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero reported Friday. Per source, the 31-year-old three-time Pro Bowler is now set to play for his fifth NFL team over the past 3 years. Beckham has been on 3 rosters, the Cleveland Browns, Los Angeles Rams, and Baltimore Ravens, and played in just 28 games. Now Beckham and the Finns will look to find a return of the past form as he'll be slotted as the team's number 3 receiver behind the speedy standouts Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Though Beckham and the Dolphins have been linked for a while, it's a somewhat surprising signing following the 2024 NFL Draft when the Dolphins added Virginia wide receiver Malcolm Washington and USC wide receiver Taheen Washington with the 6th and 7th round selections. Head coach Mike McDaniel's offense can never have too many opportunities, it will seem. All right, so the thing I wanted to bring this up, right? So he's not getting paid 800 and he's not getting paid 825 million. That's what he could earn if he does everything right? He is only getting paid 5 million in some change. That's what he's fully guaranteed. Now, it says having earned each of his 3 Pro Bowl over his first 3 NFL seasons with the New York Giants, Beckham's 5th-year run with Big Blue ended in a trade to the Browns ahead of the 2019 season. He produced his last 1,000-yard season in 2019 for the Cleveland Browns, but was guaranteed his request for a release in 2021 and signed with the Rams. Now, my only thing is with Cleveland, right? It was his last time putting up 1,000 yards. He did too in 2019. He had 16 games played, 74 receptions on 133 targets, 1,035 yards, and 3 touchdowns that season. Or no, excuse me, 4 touchdowns that season. 4 touchdowns that season. Now, the thing is I do not by any means think that he's going to go to the Miami Dolphins here and get 1,000 yards again. But I feel like in this situation, that's where Tyreek Hill, not Tyreek Hill, excuse me, that's where Odell Beckham Jr. loves to live at, is like he doesn't want to be the team's true number 1 wide receiver. And in Cleveland, he was the true number 1 wide receiver. And I feel like it wasn't only affecting him, it was affecting Baker Mayfield as well. I feel like with Baker Mayfield felt the pressure of having to throw the ball constantly to Odell, or Odell was getting mad and shit. And I feel like now here, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, coming in, Odell already knows that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is going to be his 1 and 2 punch. Is going to be Tua's 1-2 punch, and then Odell is going to be that third person that Tua looks to. I do think Odell's still going to produce a heavy amount of yardage. Like, I think he could get somewhere up close to 500 yards, which is exactly what he did this past season with the Baltimore Ravens. He started 14 games, had 35 receptions on 64 targets, 565 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And I think he could do something like that with the Dolphins as well. And my thing is in Baltimore and in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Rams, those 2 places, he did not have to be, he did not have to be that true number 1 wide receiver, which is why with the Rams, he only started 8 games. He had 27 targets on 48 catches, or 27 receptions on 48 targets, 305 yards, and only 5 touchdowns. And they went on to win the Super Bowl that season back in 2021. And I feel like Odell there at the end was making a great run for it with them. Helped them push through the playoffs and stuff. So I feel like Odell's gonna have that same impact with the Dolphins, and I really hope it's not enough to get them over the hump and get them to the Super Bowl. But yeah, man, with already having Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as your 1-2 punch, and then having Odell as your number 3 receiver, sheesh, the wide receiver core for the Miami Dolphins is about to be scary as hell. I'm interested in seeing what his numbers is going to be. Like what his number with the Dolphins is going to be. It doesn't show just yet, but yeah. So going through Odell's listing of every single, team that he's played for so far. So with the Giants in 2014, he played in 12 games. He had 91 receptions on 132 targets, 1,305 yards with 12 touchdowns. 2015, he played in 15 games. He had 96 receptions on 159 targets, 1,450 yards, 13 touchdowns. In 2016, he started all 16 games. He had 101 catches on 169 targets, 1,367 yards, and 10 touchdowns. And in 2017, he appeared in 4 games. He had 25 receptions on 41 catches, only 302 yards with 3 touchdowns. And in 2018, his last year with the New York Giants, he had 12 games. He had 77 receptions, 124 yards, 1,052 yards, and that's 6 touchdowns. Then in 2019, he went over to Cleveland, had started all 16 games, had 74 receptions on 133 yards, 1,035 yards, and 4 touchdowns. In 2020, with Cleveland, he started only 7 games, 23 receptions on 43 targets, 319 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And in 2021, he started 6 games. He had 17 receptions on 34 yards, 232 yards, and no touchdowns. And in 2021, he got traded to the Los Angeles Rams. He played in 8 games, 27 receptions on 48 targets, 305 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Last season, played with the Baltimore Ravens. He started in 14 games, had 35 receptions on 64 targets, 565 yards, and 3 touchdowns. In his career, he's started in 110 games, had 566 receptions out of 947 targets, 7,932 yards, and 59 touchdowns. So, yeah. So Odell has had a really good career, and I'm really interested in seeing what he's going to do with the Miami Dolphins this year. It's going to be very interesting having him in the AFC North. I mean, the AFC East for the first time in forever. But yeah, I ultimately think that Odell is going to be a big impact to the Miami Dolphins because of the fact of he doesn't have to be that true number one. And that's when you get to see the full impact of Odell. Because when Odell back in his days was with the New York Giants, he was a true number one, but these days he's not a true number one. He's too old to be a true number one. So, I think he likes that role of not having to be a true number one, and this is a perfect scenario for him to go into, is with the Dolphins, because they already have Tua and they already have Jalen Waddle, and then Odell just gets to sit back there and catch little dink and dunk passes from Tua and, gets to explode. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Hopefully Odell can also stay healthy, because that was another problem of his. He could not stay healthy. But yeah, on to other news. Also talking about the Dolphins. So I've seen in a report today, and I will get that report pulled up in a second. To talk about Loa. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to exit it out of that, because we don't need that pulled up anymore. Um. Okay, NFL. And where the fuck is it at? Hang on, I'm trying to find it for you guys. Where the fuck is it at? Okay, this is really annoying that I cannot find it. Okay, maybe I'm gonna have to just go find the Dolphins and actually click on their team. Miami Dolphins. Okay, for some weird reason on the app, the score when you type it in on the thing, I couldn't find it. But I'll go on here and show you off of the actual app. Oh, yo, that's big news. Wow, Joe Burrow is back. We'll be making a video on that probably tomorrow. Okay, hang on. Let's see here. Okay, maybe it wasn't off of the score that I seen it or something. I don't remember where I seen it at, guys, but just take it for my word. Maybe it was Twitter or something from one of the news sources over there on my Twitter or whatnot. I can't remember where I seen it at, but I did see that today the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa has started contract extension talks. Now, I wanted to get into this and give you my good thoughts and my bad thoughts about this. So, my good thoughts are when healthy, Tua has proven that he is a top 5 quarterback. He has proven that he could do any and everything that the team asked him to do. He's proven all of that. So yeah. In 2023, Tua had 4,624 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Now, that was off of last year. Now, all right. So in 2020, when he got drafted by the Dolphins, he appeared in 10 games, had 189 completions on 290 attempts, 1,814 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. In 2021, he had started 13 games. He had 263 yards. 263 completions on 388 attempts, 2,653 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. In 2022, he had started in 13 games, and he had 259 yards for 259 completions on 400 attempts. Sorry about that. 3,548 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. In 2023, what we just read to you guys, he started in all 17 games. He had 388 completions on 560 attempts. He had 4,624 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Now, my thing is to you guys is like I said, when healthy, Tua has proven that he can be a top 5 quarterback in this league. He has proven that he can be that guy, that he would probably be good enough to take the Dolphins to a Super Bowl. Now, the only question that I have is can Tua stay healthy? Because the last 2 seasons in 2021 and 2022, he only appeared in 13 games because both seasons he had to leave because he had really bad concussions. And last season he had, or not last season because that's 2023, but 2 seasons ago in 2022, he had not 1, not 2, but like 3 or 4 concussions. And may I remind you, all of these were really bad concussions. The last one, he got slammed on the ground and his hands literally tweaked up like this. And I thought he was literally dying on the field. I was like freaking out. Don't believe me? Go look at the live stream. I live streamed the game when he was having a concussion on the field. And I thought where he was jerking and shit and his hands was like this and shit, I thought he was literally dying on the field. That's how bad it scared me. And then, I come to figure out that it was another concussion. So my only thing is like, if you're the Dolphins, all I'm trying to say is like, thank God I don't have to be the Dolphins, because I don't know where you would lie and how much money you're willing to give this guy. And this is why I kind of wish my dad was on here right now with me, because I would love to get his intake of how much in this situation, how much do you give? And this is going to be the comment that I'm going to pin this. I'm going to write this as a comment and pin it. And I want you guys to write your honest answers underneath the pinned comment of this. But my question is how much do you give to a player that's a top 5 NFL quarterback, but also injury prone? Like, that's the problem. Tua cannot stay healthy. He's proven that in 2021 and 2022. 2023, he finally stayed healthy, but it was the first time in all of his career that he stayed healthy for the entire season. Now, if he can prove it again in 2024, then, maybe you're leaning towards paying him more money. But my only thing is like I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this, because like okay, so my thing is like, Tua's a top 5 quarterback, but he's injury prone. But we just seen the Atlanta Falcons go out and give Kirk Cousins $280 million over a 4-year contract. And my only thing is like, Tua is twice better than Kirk Cousins has ever been. So you have to pay Tua more than they paid Kirk Cousins. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this, because like, what do you do in this scenario? Do you take a chance on relying on your who could be a really good quarterback if healthy, but can he stay healthy type question? Or do you say, no, fuck that, Tua, we're going to let you walk somewhere else and go draft you a quarterback? Like, I don't know. You guys give me your opinions down in the comments below of what you would do about this situation. But the thing is like all of his numbers is going up, all of his touchdowns is going up, um, all of that and stuff that you want to see going up, it's going up. But it's just, can he stay healthy? And I can guarantee you that Tua's going to have way better stats this year than he even had last year back in 2023. His 2024 stats is going to be even better because of where they got Odell now as their third wide receiver. So now you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Odell Beckham Jr. So that wide receiver core there in Miami is about to be deadly. So I don't know. I don't know where you lie on it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It just comes down to, can he stay healthy type thing to me. So yeah, that's the videos I wanted, or that's the video that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I would have done two separate videos had this been about two players going to two entirely different teams, but Odell signed with the Dolphins and now they're in contract talk with Tua, who's also on the Dolphins. So I was like, why not just cram packed it all into one video? So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash it with a thumbs up. Do not feel afraid to leave your comments below. About the Odell situation. Let me know how you think Odell's going to do. I think he's going to have a pretty good season with the Dolphins. I mean, again, it's going to be nowhere near 1,000 yards, but at this point, I don't think I don't think Odell's looking up to put those type of numbers. And let me know about the Tua situation. What would you do? Would you give him the contract and say, fuck it, you're our guy, we love you, fuck the injury shit, we're willing to work past that? Or would you say, no, fuck you, Tua, and let him go and draft you a quarterback? Let me know what you would do. Until next video, I'm out. Peace.